Okay, I believe we're ready to start with Coach White now. And we'll begin with Anthony Dasher and then go to Jordan Hill.
Uh, Coach, obviously, turnovers first half, led to what 29 points, for Florida. Just what the issues with that, and just how tough is it to win when you're losing the ball like that?
It's been a it's been a big factor in all of our losses this year. It's not a strength of ours. Our decisions, our carelessness with the ball at times, our ball toughness at times, our incorrect reads, in verse ball screen coverages. Florida did a really good job um, of running through passes and loading to the basketball and keeping pressure on the basketball. And at times we made the right reads and threw the right passes, but some of it is just accuracy. I mean, we threw a couple passes up into the stands. Um, just played rattled in the first 20. Starts with me. We've got to figure out what we're doing offensively because turnovers continue to kill us. I thought we were much better in the second half with, and I understand we're down. That Florida's got a sizable lead, but Florida continued to compete. I mean, they had a ton of offensive rebounds in the second half, continued to pressure and run, and we got better looks. Our spacing was better. We got it moving a little bit. We also had some ugly possessions, though, in the second half, too, where it was really stagnant, and we took some no-pass shots as we're trying something new. We're literally experimenting on the road in the middle of an SEC game to uh, in transition. Um, and it was by far and away the key to the game for us was value in the basketball, making good decisions, making simple plays, hitting singles, playing off of 2 feet, making two-hand passes, catching the ball with two hands. And we just didn't do that. So we'll get with our guys tomorrow. We'll continue to watch film. We'll continue to do ball handling drills and passing drills and figure out where we are in the court and who's where and what we're trying to accomplish collectively, offensively, because we're searching a little bit right now. Defensively, outside of defending, outside of some missed blockouts there in the second half, did some good things. Florida's really good. They're really good. But the game was over early. I hadn't been a part of many of those. Wasn't very fun. But that said, this league is what it is these days, and Florida's another really good team. I mean, we've lost to really good teams.
Yeah. Again, quick follow up. That being said, everybody knows how tough the league is, but for your kid, you've got a lot of young players, on this team. How do you and your assistants now attempt to keep this from snowballing even further than what it already is?
Well, again, we haven't just we don't have a bad loss. We just don't have a bad loss. So it's not, if you lose to a couple of mid majors at home, or you beat or excuse me, or even you lose on the road to a team that's just an inferior team to you. It's another story. But we've got losses to quad one teams. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just what it is. We're not losing to quad three teams or even quad two teams. Um, So I mean, this same thing happened to Tennessee, right? I don't know what their final score was.
Mm-hmm.
It was out of it was a sizable win by Florida, and Tennessee's a top 10 team in the country. So um, it's not about making wholesale changes and um, whether or not the wheels are going to fall off. No, we've got a good team, and these guys will continue to work and stay together. We'll have a great practice tomorrow. I guarantee you. We just got to play better Tuesday night, and we got to figure out this turnover problem because it leads to other things too. I mean, defensively we're way better than that, but when you're throwing the ball to the opposition and they're going and dunking it, I mean that has an effect negatively on your half court defense, on your transition defense. I've been doing this a long time, and never struggled this much with the assist turnover ratio. And we started talking about it. I mean, literally in our first few games, right, in some of those wins at home, and it started to grab our attention as a staff. And we've made it a big deal at times, and then I've also, through trial and error, tried let's just not talk about it for a week. Maybe it's too mental, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But we're going to keep swinging at it. We'll figure it out.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Mike, to follow up on the turnovers, how frustrating is it? If you look at the stats, it's not just one or two guys with the bulk of the turnovers. It's kind of spread across this team as far as having, all these turnovers.
Can you hear me? Everybody's frozen.
Can you hear me now?
I may have just gotten lucky. I can.
Let's see.
I got you.
Okay. Sorry, Mike.
That's okay.
How frustrating is it that it's not just two or three guys we're talking about when it comes to the turnovers? You look at the first half, I think it was 8 or 9, that it's spread across the entire team. It's not just one or two guys having turnover issues.
Right. Yeah, it makes it more difficult for sure. It's a big challenge, but we've got to figure it out. It's not like we've got a guy that's 3-1 or 2-1, and we say, hey, let's just let this guy over dribble a little bit and play off of him. And we've got good players. We've got good bigs. We've got good guards. We've got good skill level. Our decisions and our passing ability have got to improve. Our willingness to pass is pretty good with this team. It's an unselfish team, and when the guy next to you is open, we pass it to him. So that's not the problem. It's we get into tight spaces, and sometimes just the moment is big and we make the wrong decision. We get a little careless, we get a little sped up. But again, a lot of that, it's not like we just had 18 turnovers against a mid-major team, or a high major team that's at the bottom of their league. I mean, Florida can really, really defend, and they've got size and athleticism, and Florida plays really hard. And they just made things very difficult on us. 18 turnovers in a row. I mean, it can't happen. It's really hard to overcome that.
We'll go to Jack Leo and then to Aaron Ladd.
Mike, just curious as well. Asa didn't get a basket until I think it was like the 15th minute, or sorry, the 5th minute of the second half there.
Yeah.
What did Florida do to really take him out of the game up to that point?
I thought their physicality on the interior was high level. All of their bigs, I thought, did a really good job with their wall ups and their blockouts. We were able to get 16 offensive rebounds. Asa got 5 of them. He just doesn't take plays off. He just continues to be who he is. They did a good job of altering shots at the rim. They forced him into a few tougher ones than he's been taking as of late, especially coming off that last game where he was able to get really close to the rim. But I bet 4 out of his 5 3 looks were pretty good. If I go back and watch it, just guessing, I thought he had some good looks from the perimeter. That'll go in time, but some of that too, when you're down big, puts a little bit more pressure on you to make it at times. Where you're just really searching offensively, and he's a better shooter than that. But you can't fault his effort. And I hadn't said that since June. He'll continue to fight and improve as a player.
Coach, just very generally, how do you keep spirits up? 4-game losing streak, but you mentioned like searching a little bit offensively for the identity.
Yeah.
You're coming back home for this Tuesday game. How do you keep focus back on, hey, any one game can get us right back on track?
Yeah, that's already been addressed to our guys, and our guys knew that was coming. And before we even walked into the locker room, they probably had that conversation with each other. I mean, we've got a group of guys we've got high character guys, we got basketball character guys, we got guys that like each other. that like to work. That's the least of my concerns. I'm concerned with our turnovers and our defensive rebounding, our attention to detail at times, offensively, defensively. But again, it's not a typical 4-game losing streak. It's just not. I mean, I'm the most disappointed guy in our locker room, and that's wearing the red and black today. It starts with me. That said, we've lost to really, really good teams, and we've lost to 3 of them on the road, or 4 of them on the road. You guys know better than I do, if I'm not mistaken. And then number 1 at home, and we've had chances in all of them. Tennessee, we're up at half, and they got away from us, in the second half. This one is the outlier. This one got away from us early. Now, if we laid down and just didn't play with intensity the rest of the game, your antennas would go up and you'd have concern about your response and that snowballing word, right? Or other concerns. But that wasn't the case tonight, and I don't anticipate that ever being the case with this team. These guys will get back to work tomorrow, and we'll be better on Tuesday. I'll be surprised if we're not.
And we'll finish with Hank Tatum.
It's kind of like you talked about. How important is it to get back in the win column on Tuesday, especially against the team like South Carolina that's struggled to this point in the SEC?
Yeah, it's such a unique time in this league in the SEC. It's the best league in the history of college basketball. And so I know we say they've struggled because of the win-loss column, obviously. But if you look very closely, they've had chances, and I think all of them, if not almost all of them, they're really good. They're really good. They're not going to have the live ball turnovers that we had tonight. They're just not. They've got good ball security. They've got a really good interior. They set great screens. They space you. They're going to sit down and guard you. They're going to be ultra physical. They're going to be prepared like every opponent in this league. And, we could reel off a few W's. South Carolina could reel off a few W's. Any team in this league is capable. So we're focused on tomorrow and playing well, not even the outcome right now. Like we've got to have a good day tomorrow. We've got to make better decisions tomorrow in practice. And then on Monday, we've got to move it. We've got to be more sound. We've got to be stronger with the basketball, and be better Tuesday night offensively. And obviously in every area, defending the glass and defensively overall. But obviously it starts with our ball security offensively.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate the time. Safe travels home.